Hello, in today's video, I want to talk about why involvement is absolutely indispensable in life, okay? So a lot of the times we're going to use school as an analogy, okay? Let's say this is school, or in Japanese, like this is your gakko. This is your high school. Whatever school it is, right? We college, and this is just for involvement. Why involvement is absolutely necessary to live an amazing life, to be happy, to be connected, to enjoy your time here. So let's say this is your school, and these are clubs. Like let's say there's like clubs here. There's like a couple clubs. Let's say this is like speech / debate, you know. Let's say like this is like the cafeteria. Okay? If you want to enjoy your existence, whether it be at school, whether it be in a workplace, whether it be in a family unit, whether it be in a relationship, whether it be in anything, right? You have to, we're going to go a couple layers here, okay? There will be 3 layers to this. 3 layers. So first, you got to involve yourself physically. You got to attend those clubs. You got to meet the people. You got to go to speech and debate. You got to go to the cafeteria. And you got to talk with those people. Talk. And so that's like the first level, right? That's the gross level. So on the gross level, you got to connect with the people around you. And why do we do this? Why is involvement necessary? If we use this analogous for like family or relationship or anything, right? Because the people who are involved with us, who meet with us, who we spend time with, who in our hearts we enjoy the most, who we're most grateful for, most connected to, even if you don't always see them, even if you're not always around them, they are involved. So on the gross level, it's attending, it's coming to, it's it's being there, right? And so for a school thing, right, let's say you're at school and you're just joining high school, right? And you're like, oh my gosh, high school is so dope, or, college is so dope. If you engage with everything around you, you'll be more involved in the lives of the people around you, like just on a gross level. If you physically go there, you will see the events, you will be in the circles of people, you will see the things that they see, at least physically. And so that'll be like the first level, right? So now you're like, know what's going on a gross level or on a physical level with what's going on around you. And that's a good thing. That's like, okay, now you're there. And the reason that involvement allows you to have a happy life, at least first on the gross level, is because when you are around, when you are in connection with the community around you or the people you love the most, then you're going to form better connections. We're social creatures. And so it's like first step of any place you move to is you want to be involved. You always want to be involved in life, in other people, because that's what's there to explore is like, honestly, the people, the places, the things, right? All the experiences. If you stayed inside in your room all day and you scroll on Instagram and TikTok, what are you going to do? You're going to be miserable. If you're connected, highly connected to the lives around you and to the lives of your loved one and your family, then you're going to be very, very happy because there's connection, there's community, you're learning things, you're discovering things with them, right? It takes an analogy for like parents, right? It takes a village to raise a child. In schools, like no one is self-made. We all need to be in connection. So first thing is involvement on the gross level. This is just the physical level. The second, right, and we can use relationships here. Or actually, I don't know. This is the second level. So second level. Second level is the emotional or second level is like the emotional and cognitive levels. And this can be in relationships. This is when you're empathizing. There's actually studies that show that couples, people in relationships who can take better, I think the word was like cognitive empathy, or essentially like put themselves in their partner's shoes, more often have higher satisfaction. And so how does this play out? Let's say, we can use a school in the relationship. So how does this play out? Like, why does this make sense? And it's like, well, first thing, right? Let's say if we want to use this, we'll use the school analogy and we'll use relationships. So this is the second level is emotional, or we'll just say internal. So, right? And then, so internal, like emotional / psychological. So this is just like the changing emotions and thoughts, right? So it's just, so for the emotional and psychological, it's like, one, in relationships, why does this lead to better connection, better involvement? Let's say your partner is coming, like your amazing, fantastic, wonderful partner that you want to see so much is coming home from work, right? And they've had a long day at work, right? If you can put themselves in their shoes, you can be like, okay, they're probably pretty tired. They probably want some food. They'd probably enjoy this. They probably just want some rest. So then you will, match that. You'll be a little less energetic. You'll get them the food they need. You'll be calmer around them because you're attuned to what would best support and best love them in that moment. If they're not super duper excited and like flamboyant when they first see you, well, that's probably because they're tired. Or if they, right? So if you can put yourselves in your partner's shoes, right? Let's say you have a girlfriend that you absolutely love, or you're a girl and you have a boyfriend you absolutely love. If you can put yourself in their shoes, then at certain moments you can acknowledge this is probably what they're feeling and thinking in this moment. So how can I best love them with that understanding? And that leads to higher satisfaction. That leads to taking things less personally. Maybe when they forgot this, it wasn't because they, don't like you or whatever. It's probably because they were busy doing X or busy doing Y or this, that, and the other, right? The more times you can put yourselves in their shoes and understand where they're coming from, there will be very little to no disagreements. So that's in relationships. And then the second is the school. So how does it work in the schools? So let's use that school analogy once again. Let's go back to the school. Let's go back to the school analogy. So now let's say you're at that school again. You're at that college, you're at that high school, you're at that workplace, right? And school is just the analogy we're going to use. So you're at college. If you can put yourselves in the emotional and psychological frameworks that the people around you are in when you go to the speech and debate, when you go to the clubs, when you go to the cafeteria, when you go to your class, then you're better able to connect and better able to be involved in their lives and meet them where they're at. They're going to be much more willing to talk to you, to enjoy friendship, to maybe you find your relationship there. Maybe you learn more material, you start study groups. Whatever it is if you can connect with them from where they're at. Like, hey, you know what? Like, I imagine, let's say they're taking 5 classes and it's like 18 units. And you're like, wow, that sounds really stressful. Like if you can meet them where they are feeling, if they're feeling stressed or if they're feeling happy, then you're better able to connect with them. You're better able to be involved in the lives of the people around you. And then even if you're looking to be of service or create some cool project or business, then you're better able to align yourselves with what they feel, with what they want, with what they need. So that is how on those levels you're gonna be more involved, right? And that'll overall, the involvement is what leads to happiness. Being involved in life and not sitting on the couch watching TikTok for 8 hours a day, that's going to lead to happiness. Being involved in the people around you, being involved in the projects around you, being involved in nature around you. So that's a second level, right? Now the third level is the spiritual, okay? And I know for a lot of people, they're going to be like, what? The spiritual? What are you talking about? I'm a staunch atheist and I'm miserable. Wonder why. So, yeah, that was a little tongue in cheek, but it's pretty obvious. So for the spiritual level, if you believe in God or if you don't, right, you can use this. But if you have, let's say, faith or you're aligned with someone on a spiritual level, if you connect with them about deep truths, the spiritual level, you can use it as like fundamental beliefs. Like if you can understand someone's fundamental beliefs and be in alignment with them, fundamental beliefs, if you can, their core values, like if you are aligned on core values, fundamental beliefs, like the unchanging elements of a person, the fundamental modus operandi, the what they at their core believe is going on existentially, spiritually. Like if you can at the root of their being see them for the shining light that they are, the lamppost, so to speak, if we use a Christian analogy, then you're going to connect with them. You can be so much more involved in someone's life if you, and this is not always forced. Like I'm super grateful and super happy for my wonderful partner, and I don't have to force understanding, acknowledging, and being in alignment with her fundamental beliefs and core values. And so in that same way, for the people who do, want to find connection, whether it be in friendship, relationship, family, anything, if you can at least understand, come to grow, to learn more, to be curious about, to accept even their fundamental beliefs and their core values, like the things they hold true irregardless of a situation or circumstance they are in, then you will always have some fundamental alignment. Like, so the first layer or the bottom layer, right? If we imagine the bottom layer of being involved in people and in life, the bottom layer, this is like the spiritual, right? And this is their fundamental. This is like bedrock in Minecraft. This is the unchanging element. Then the second, right, is their emotional and psychological. Emotional, psychological. And if you can connect with them on that, that's amazing too. You're going to understand their personality, what they're feeling, what they're doing, stuff like that. And then the gross level. This is like, hey, like I get that they're putting a lot of work in. You're at the same physical places. You do the same physical activities. So this is more the physical. This is more the internal. And this is more like the unchanging element, right? Like who they are fundamentally as a person. And if you can connect and be involved on those levels, then you will always have yourself a friend, a partner, a wonderful relationship with the schools around you. This is how you kind of, cement yourself or find yourself beautiful involvement in people's lives. Because if without involvement, without taking interest in the lives of others, without taking interest in the world around you, without taking interest in the ideas, emotions, and experiences of the people around you, you will live a very mundane, boring, no novelty having shit life. And that is just facts, not to be rude. So yeah, take interest in the lives around you. You're going to be very, very happy you did in the long run. A lot of people, if we go back to the school analogy, right, if they could go, all the older people, right, who have graduated college, who are now like 40 or 50, if they could go back, a lot of them tell you, they're like, and this is just my life experience, a lot of them have told me, like, I wish I was more involved. Get involved in all the clubs, activities. It's because, like, while you're here on earth, while you're here at this business, if you're going to be there anyways, get involved in people's lives and be connected. There's no reason not to. You are a social creature just as much as them. You are not an island unto yourself, and you did not make yourself. You do not raise yourself. And so be connected with the people around you. It may bear way more fruit than staying in your room watching Instagram. Thank you so much, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video.